Bhagavatam shloke Bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. So we're reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 77. Lord Krishna slays Shalva. It'll be text 1 and 2. And we'll read the summary of the chapter. This chapter describes how Lord Sri Krishna disposed of Shalva, the master of deception, and destroyed his airship. From the battlefield, Prajuna was extremely ashamed, and he ordered his driver to take his chariot once again into the presence of Dhuman. As Prajumna fought with Dhuman, other Yadu heroes like Gauda, Sataki, and Samba began to create havoc among Shalva's army. The battle continued in this way for 27 days and nights. When Lord Krishna returned to Dwarka, he found it under siege. At once he ordered Daruka to drive him onto the battlefield. Suddenly Shalva noticed the Lord, and threw his spear at Krishna's charioteer. But the Lord shattered the weapon into hundreds of pieces and pierced Shalva with his Shobha vehicle with numerous arrows. Shalva responded by shooting an arrow that struck Krishna's left arm. Amazingly, the Lord dropped the Sharanga bow he was holding in his left hand. The demigods, watching the battle, cried out in alarm upon seeing the bow fall, while Shalva took the opportunity to insult Krishna. Lord Krishna then struck Shalva with his club, but the demon, vomiting blood, disappeared. A moment later, a man came before Lord Krishna, and after offering him obeisances, introduced himself as a messenger from Mother Devaki. The man informed the Lord that his father, Vasudeva, had been kidnapped by Shalva. Upon hearing this, Lord Krishna seemed to lament like an ordinary man. Shalva then led forward someone who looked just like Vasudeva, decapitated him, and took the head with him into his Shobha airship. Lord Sri Krishna, however, could understand the magic tricks of Shalva. Thus he pierced Shalva with a shower of arrows and struck the Shobha vehicle with his club, demolishing it. Shalva descended from his airplane and rushed toward Lord Krishna to attack him. But the Lord took up his Sudarshan disc and severed Shalva's head from his body. With the killing of Shalva, the demigods in the sky played kettle drums in jubilation. The demon, Dantavakra, then took a vow to avenge his friend Shalva's death. Jai. Shri Shukuvacha Sa Upaprishya Shalilang Dansito Drita Karmukaha Nayamang Jumata Parshvam Virasyet Yaha Sarating. A translation. Shukadeva Goswami said, after refreshing himself with water, putting on his armor, and picking up his bow, Lord Pradyumna told his driver, "Take me back to where the hero Dhuman is standing." Purport. Pradyumna was eager to rectify the discrepancy of his having left the battlefield when his chariot driver carried him away unconscious. Vidhamantang svasainyani Dyumantang Rukmini Sutaha Pratitya Pratyavidyan Narachar Ashtabi Smayan Vidhamantang Svasainyani Dyumantang Rukmini Sutaha Pratihatya Pratyavidyan Naracharashtabi Smayan Vidhamantang Svasainyani Dyumantang Rukmini Sutaha Pratihatya Pratyavidyan Narachar Ashtabi Smayan
Vidyamantam Swasanyam
Vidyamantam Dyumantang Rukmini Sutaha
Vidyamantam Svasanyani Dyumantang Rukmini Sutaha Pratihatya Pratyavidyan Narachar Ashtabi Smayan
Vidhamantam, smashing. Sva, his. Sainyani, soldiers. Dyumantam, Dyuman. Rukmini Sutaha, the son of Rukmini. Pradyumna. Pratihatya, counterattacking. Pratyavidyat, he struck back. Narachai, with special arrows made of iron. Ashtabi, 8. Smayan, while smiling. Translation. In Pradyumna's absence, Dyuman had been devastating his army, but now Pradyumna counterattacked Dyuman and smiling pierced him with 8 Naracha arrows. Please repeat. In Pradyumna's absence, Dyuman had been devastating his army, but now Pradyumna counterattacked Dyuman and smiling pierced him with 8 Naracha arrows. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti comments that Pradyumna challenged Juman, saying, "Now see if you can strike me." After saying this, and allowing Juman to shoot his weapons, Pradyumna released his own deadly arrows. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistang Stapitang Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhyeva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, trying to think what to say about this particular Leela, but I was beginning to appreciate a little bit how the whole Srimad Bhagavatam, how Shukadev Goswami, empowered by Srila Vyasadeva, and how Parikshit Maharaj, even though he had the empire, the wealth, wonderful family, reputation, very powerful, good-looking, everything that everybody wants in this world, he had it. And he could have even avoided the curse of the Brahmana boy, but he took that as Krishna's arrangement. And he wanted to know what to do now. One who's on the verge of death, what is his duty, what is his responsibility? So Krishna's arranging all the great sages, even demigods from other planets. Everyone could see something miraculous is going to take place here because such a powerful emperor is Parikshit Maharaj. And he goes to the bank of the Ganges. At Hastinapur, previously, we think of the Jamuna, but back then also called the Ganges. So Ganges, Jamuna, it was referred to in the same reference. And the sages of Naimisharanya and Sutta Goswami, so they're setting the whole scene here. They're ready to perform 1,000 years of yajna and sacrifice for the welfare of everyone and for the purpose of auspiciousness. People have forgotten or are incapable of performing those kind of sacrifices. So Shukadev Goswami, being the pure devotee empowered by Krishna, by Srila Vyasadeva, and it said that by the narration of Sutta Goswami, the Bhagavatam became even sweeter. They say when a parrot touches the fruit, that fruit becomes even sweeter. And Parikshit Maharaj, he was explaining how hunger, thirst, sleep, none of these things will affect me because by hearing the nectarine pastimes of Krishna from Shukadev Goswami, he was just feeling so enlivened. Hair was standing on end. And he was asking so many questions about Krishna's birth. Why was Krishna taken after he took birth in front of Vasudeva and Devaki, manifesting his forearm form? Then immediately was taken to Braj, Gokul, to be with Nanda and Yashoda. And there's so much history, intricate history, detailed history, with so many great acharyas documented about the greatness of Krishna and Krishna's appearance, his divine activities. So Krishna is performing wonderful activities, especially in Vrindavan. His childhood pastimes are considered the most relishable, the sweetest pastimes. And of course, with the cowherd boys going out, tending the cows and calves, and then just see how Kamsa was so fearful that he was sending one demon after another to kill Krishna, just like we're trying to make some advancement in Krishna consciousness, but the demons are coming, the lust, the greed, the envy, the jealousy, and we try to somehow surrender more and more so that we can overcome the tricks of the mind, the tricks of Maya. So Krishna is performing wonderful activities, exhibiting his strength, killing Putana. Okay, he upset Indra because he wanted all the Brajabasis to worship Govardhan. No need to worship the demigods. And Indra got so angry, throwing so much torture on the Brajabasis, and Krishna lifted Govardhan hill effortlessly. But still, by his yoga maya, like Yashoda Mai, Nanda Maharaj, and the Brajabasis, they're simple cowherd boys, village, but they just loved Krishna. They didn't know that he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And sometimes they would know that, but then again, Yoga Maya would cover them in order to, this is all pastime, Leela of the Lord. And with mundane knowledge and intelligence, one can't understand that, because most people are eager for economic development, thinking, listen, if I make good money, I'll be happy in this world. Get a good job, good government job, and secure pension. No chance of war, no chance of earthquake, no chance of heart failure. I'll be very happy. But unfortunately, that they become frustrated finding that this endeavor for economic development is not satisfying. And then all the philosophical mental speculators thinking that through science and through research, let us make some very powerful rockets and spaceships. We can go to the moon, go to Mars, go to other planets, and find out that we're still birth, old age, disease, and death, and it's still going to be unhappy, unsatisfied, because different atmospheres are throughout the universe. There's life everywhere, but we're all conditioned in our own little prison house. We're imprisoned in this material body, isn't it? The senses are looking for gratification, so the mind is orchestrating, the intelligence is telling them, okay, the Maha is hidden over here, you got to go that way and get that. That's okay, that's transcendental, stealing some Maha. But we have that habit here. I remember in Miami, we had a big walk-in cooler, and many times the people would break that lock just to get that burfi. That burfi is so good, no, really. Sometimes devotees can't control their senses when it comes to Mahaprasad. Yeah. But we see how, even though Parikshit Maharaj had all that everyone is looking for, wealth, and Krishna is considered the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why? Because he has all the wealth, all the beauty, perfect knowledge, speaks Bhagavad Gita, which has been freshly in the minds of any philosopher, poets, and educators for thousands of years. But unfortunately, without the guidance of Guru, without the guidance of the pure devotees in the Guru Parampara, due to our mundane mind and speculative nature, we cannot understand what is Krishna and what are his pastimes. Most people think these are just stories, how Krishna is performing all these wonderful activities, killing so many demons, so many battles, like the demons and demigods battles. But also in other religions, you can see many artists have drawn all these huge battles between the angels and the demons, and these things exist. Maya is so expert that she covers us in such a way that even though we're hearing about all these wonderful pastimes of Krishna and seeing the beauty of Krishna and how everyone's heart and mind are attracted by Krishna, still we think, oh, that's a nice story, but I have more important things to do. I have to get on with it. You know, I have my family, my responsibilities, my duties to my country, my nation. So the bodily concept was exhibited by Arjuna as Leela. Arjuna understood everything. He's Krishna's friend, eternal friend. He's always Krishna told Arjuna, you were with me millions of years ago when I spoke the same knowledge, divine, transcendental knowledge to the sun god, millions of years ago. You have forgotten. But Krishna, he is unborn, ever existing. They say, well, why is there Janmashtami if he's unborn? They say his Leela. Krishna takes birth, he appears and disappears. For what purpose? Paritranaya sadhunang vinashaya cha dushkritam. He's protecting the devotees and he's annihilating the rascal demons. But everyone in the material world is a demon. Until one changes his mind and attitude and direction, what activities we're performing, if it's simply how to be the Ishvara, Ishwaraham, Aham Bhogi, Siddhaham Balavan Sukhi. It's all about me, number one. I'm the number one dad, number one, ultimate fighter, number one astronaut, whatever. Everyone is looking for number one in the sports field, in all the beauty contests, and all the weightlifting and fighting. Everybody is looking to be number one. They forget Bhoktarang Jagatapasang Sarvaloka Maheshwarang Suhridang Sarvabhutanang Gyatmamang Shanti Mrishchati. There's no peace, there's no happiness unless we direct our attention to serving Krishna and loving Krishna. So the pastime is unfolding. Krishna is performing wonderful pastimes, with the Rasa Leela, with the gopis and the cowherd boys. What to speak of moving on to killing Kamsa, and then that the gopis, Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, everyone is feeling intense separation from Krishna. But even during Rasa Leela, Krishna performed that disappearing act. He told the gopis, I did this just so that you would increase your desire to be with me. So this Vani and Vapu, we know when Srila Prabhupada was traveling around the world so many times, I've heard 13, 14 times around the world. Could be. And even though he was sometimes in Europe, sometimes in America, Australia, Africa, India, not all the devotees had that opportunity to see and serve Srila Prabhupada directly. I know when he was in Vrindavan, some devotees were just cooking the whole time because so many devotees are coming, or maybe doing the deity worship. He didn't even get a chance practically to see Srila Prabhupada. And you may think, I didn't have that opportunity. And many of the book distributors, we couldn't maybe come when Prabhupada was ill in 77. You got to maintain the temple, do book distribution. That's all well and good because service to the Guru is appreciated. Srila Prabhupada very much expressed his satisfaction for the devotees who sacrificed not sentimental, but sometimes one might be overly, I want to be with Prabhupada wherever he goes. That's a wonderful desire. The gopis wanted that as well. But Krishna disappeared just to increase their desire to be with Krishna. So not that Prabhupada disappeared and those who didn't have that opportunity to personally serve him, but he's establishing that Vani, that your service, by hearing Prabhupada, you're with Prabhupada. By reading the books, Srila Prabhupada is giving to us from Shukadeva Goswami, from Krishna, you're being with Prabhupada. And nowadays we have modern technology. You can watch the videos following Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada Darshan, or you're sitting in the room conversation, you're on a walk with Srila Prabhupada, you're hearing the questions and answers probably more clearly than if you were tagging along behind somewhere. And if you're not one of the sannyasis, you couldn't get too close anyway. You can get back there. Go back in the back. And I was seeing actually the procession when the 50th anniversary, all the elephants and the cows and all the decorations and flags and festoons and the kirtan, very enthusiastically vibrating. And Srila Prabhupada, even though he was very ill, was not in good shape, he walked the entire procession. And the devotees surrounded Srila Prabhupada in such a way as to protect him, because everyone wants to come and get the blessings of the spiritual master, the guru. They create a whole chain of devotees. And around Srila Prabhupada, everything was peaceful. But the further you got away, it became more commotion. So the message I got from that was always be close to Prabhupada by enthusiastically reading his books. I find out loud reading is very good, because you're moving your tongue, you're hearing, your eyes, and even you have to stay awake. It helps you stay awake more, otherwise you fall asleep and you lose the opportunity. And sometimes, if you really want to read and you're not in good shape, Prabhupada said, take a snap. We'd go in Sankirtan. Oh, it's almost time to get in the van. You couldn't be late for the van. So you lay down on the floor for 7-10 minutes or max, and you're up and you feel refreshed. Those snaps work really good. And by taking a little snap before even reading, not that you always have to do, I'm just saying, if you're really tired, take a snap. And then you find that you can stay more attentive, because we have to focus our attention in a very serious way. We have very little time. Previously they would live 100,000 years, 10,000, 1,000, 100. Now if someone's living up to 80, 90, oh, you lived a big, long life. But that's nothing. And people are dying at 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. Anytime we can die. So the Bhagavatam is actually being spoken, that first canto, second canto, so powerful, so clear, establishing the authority of Srimad Bhagavatam and establishing Krishna's power and beauty. As the Leela is more and more unfolding, Narada Muni, when Krishna created Dwaraka, and everything has this actually connected, a purpose why Krishna is performing all these activities. After killing Kamsa, so many of his friends wanted to retaliate. So Krishna and Balaram didn't want to go back to Vrindavan, because they would come to Vrindavan and harass all the Brijabasis. So they're destroying the demonic principle more and more. And then as we're leading up, that Narada Muni is also go to Dwaraka when Krishna created a safe place for all his devotees to be sheltered. Now this battle is taking place in Dwaraka, and Narada Muni is going from palace to palace, seeing all the wonderful activities Krishna is performing, something different in each and every palace, getting his sons married, his daughters married, and performing yajna, performing sacrifice, worshiping himself, and just setting the example, because how will we know what to do, what is right and what is wrong, unless Krishna, either directly or through his representatives, is giving us guidance in the form of Veda. Veda means knowledge. As time progresses, previously you could just hear the Vedic literature. The disciples were called Shrutidar. They had much better intelligence, better memory. I know that as we're getting older, we're forgetting names and forgetting things. Sometimes I think, I know this person for 50 years, and what's his name again? Yes. That's why now we're making name tags for everyone so we don't forget. We can see their name tag and identify who's who. So this is Krishna consciousness, and Srila Prabhupada is giving us the essence of what Shukadeva Goswami is speaking to Parikshit Maharaj, and also it's like sandwiched in between so many saintly personalities, glorifying the Supreme Lord, glorifying the process of bhakti, devotional service. We should have no doubt that what is given to us by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the six Goswamis is the very same message that was spoken to Parikshit Maharaj by Shukadeva Goswami, that Krishna spoke to Arjuna, that Krishna spoke to Uddhava. And the message is that Arjuna he was trying to convey the message to Krishna that I have duties, responsibility, I don't want to fight with my family. Trying to show that he's a very humanitarian person and looking out for the welfare of society. But Krishna blasted him, you're speaking like a person who doesn't understand that the difference between the body and the soul. This body is a temporary covering for the eternal spirit soul. While we're embodied, we have duties to perform. This is why Krishna says, Chatur Varnyang Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagasha, that brahmachari life, practice austerity, study the Vedas, learn discipline, learn obedience, humility, serving, respecting others. The brahmachari principles are actually very important for making a strong foundation. As you can see, we're making a strong foundation for a new building coming up there. If you haven't seen, the crane is working and a lot of cement is being poured, the best steel, the best cement, and everything is very calibrated scientifically in systematic order. Not that you're going to throw everything in the hole and hope it works. No. Foundational training, the preliminary education is very, very important. So the brahmachari life is very important. And also there are rules and regulations for householder life. Krishna's in the center. Our main objective is to assist one another to advance in Krishna consciousness. Then there's a time of retirement, vanaprastha. I need to get even more serious. Okay, I did my duties. I took care of family. I took care of my varna and ashram. But now, as we see old age is setting in, and we have the warnings of disease and death coming right around the corner, they always picture the ghoul, the death with the chopper, and he's got that hood on, ready to take your life at any time. And we think that, it doesn't matter. What's the difference, that if I become a dog or cat, I'm eternal, so. But Prabhupada is stressing the importance that from the very youth, from the very beginning. Why did Srila Prabhupada want to start the Gurukula system? Because he wanted to educate the children, and he wanted to have all of us to take a serious, responsible role in spreading Krishna consciousness throughout the world. And perfectly and scientifically, he's presenting the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda, the six Goswamis, they made Krishna consciousness easy for those who see. It's like, if you don't know how to do something, someone says, here, let me show you how to do it. It's done like this. If you go to a teacher and he shows you how to play the mridanga and how to play the harmonium or how to dance, everyone has a dance instructor, you do it properly. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Pancha Tattva, they showed the highest religion, the method of bhakti yoga, of chanting, dancing, and also feasting, taking prasad. We heard yesterday very nicely Subhag Maharaj is glorifying the prasadam, lila, and we have so many no's, okay, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex, no meat eating, so many no's. But prasad is yesterday I went overboard. I had 2 gulab jammuns. They were so good. Yeah. Anyway, this is our great fortune, because if you see how the world is totally confused with atheism, Marxism, communism, socialism, and how people were going from using the Vedic literature in the pretext that animal sacrifices for the goddess, this is okay. Then immediately slaughterhouses opened because they took it all to an extreme, slaughtering the poor innocent animals. So Lord Buddha appeared to deviate them from their misuse of the scripture. Shankaracharya, Lord Shiva, appeared to again guide those who are misguided and established again the Bhagavad Purana, or the Upanishads and the Vedas. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu defeating Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Prakashananda Saraswati, all the greatest scholars, the greatest leaders of all the yoga groups and all the different sannyasis who were following Sharirika Bhashya, Shankaracharya's interpretation. But inside he said, you fools, you just surrender to Govinda. All this speculation is not going to help you. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu empowered the 6 Goswamis to clearly give us the path, so we don't have to speculate and think that we don't have proper guidance. We have wonderful guidance. And this is all the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. But he gives all credit to the Acharyas, to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, to Bhaktisiddhanta, and all followers of the Guru Parampara. And this Krishna Balaram Mandir was a great victory for Srila Prabhupada. He was extremely happy, pleased. When you see Prabhupada offering the artik to Krishna Balaram, beautiful smile from ear to ear, and devotees are just so excited to be part of Srila Prabhupada's, being in this International Society for Krishna Consciousness, being proud to be disciples of Srila Prabhupada, and being proud to take up this Krishna consciousness. We don't have any other need or desire to take this literature or that literature. Srimad Bhagavatam is complete. Krishna book, so sweet. Bhagavad Gita, very crystal clear, like the brilliant sunshine. If you think about the sunshine, how is it a globe up in space can generate from 93 million miles away so much heat and so much energy and so much ultraviolet light that gives life to all the plants and every day, and we just take it for granted? It's just a gaseous, a big mass of that just providing and maintaining and allowing all the planets, which are billions of tons of weight, floating in outer space like little cotton balls. So the Supreme Lord is there, but Maya is so strong that it gives us the non-intelligence to defy the existence of the Supreme Lord. And Srila Prabhupada, by his example also, Krishna taught by his example, and Srila Prabhupada taught us that we have to be enthusiastic to again and again make the attempts of Krishna consciousness. Like here in Pradyumna, he was severely beaten by the commander-in-chief of Shalva's army, hit his chest so hard that it knocked him out for at least a couple hours. He was so mad at his driver, how you can take me away from the battlefield? No one in my family has ever, not performed his duty. I'll be mocked by everyone. How can I see my uncle Balaram and all the queens will chastise me? Oh, you're such a brave hero that you run away from the battlefield. So he was feeling, but Daruka's son, his chariot driver, he said, no, it's the duty of the chariot, because you were so badly hurt in a dangerous situation, in the middle of the battlefield, my duty is to take you, to protect you. So Pradyumna, the son of Krishna, who has all the qualities of Krishna, the beauty of Krishna, we sometimes can think that if Krishna, why does he fight with these people? Just kill them on the spot. He can do it. But Krishna doesn't interfere with the independence of any individual. He's allowing us our minute independence and to interact within society, within the world, the intricacies of the complexity of war. And we see it's going on all around us, all kinds of wars, all kinds of killing and slaughter and everything. And Krishna, he manifests, he personally appeared, and he's performing such wonderful activities. And Pradyumna here, after said, okay, bring me back to the battlefield. And then immediately, even though, what was the commander's name? Dyuman was devastating his whole army. Then Pradyumna with a smile on his face. He was ready for, like Krishna was smiling when Arjuna was bewildered, the battle of Kurukshetra, because they know all this killing, so-called killing, everyone is eternal, yes, but Krishna's Leela has a purpose behind it. And Pradyumna obviously was taking the responsibility of protecting his Dwarka Dham and all the citizens there. Krishna comes, we'll read later in this chapter, and also does away with Shalva. So the demons have a lot of so-called powers, but the devotees are protected. And just after the Rajasuya sacrifice, and Krishna wanted to leave, Yudhishthira Maharaj did not want him to leave. He wanted to keep him a little bit longer. What to speak of the prayers of Queen Kunti, his aunt. She was pouring her heart out that without you, Krishna, we're never protected. You've protected us all along. And the whole idea of Krishna being partial, like we heard, I think, Maharaj spoke the other day, Janardhan, that the sunshine is there. The brilliance of the sunshine is there. And for one who's taking that sunshine and appreciating, he's getting the mercy of the sun. But one who wants to hide himself and not take full advantage or be in the shadows or in the darkness, because material life is darkness. So Krishna's mercy is available for everyone. But the Pandavas were taking that mercy because they took shelter of Krishna. Arjuna, Yudhishthira, all the Pandavas were taking shelter. This way, it appears that Krishna was favorable to the Pandavas. He's favorable to everyone, but he's not against anyone. Anyone who wants to take shelter can take shelter. And this is the opportunity to take shelter of Krishna by hearing and chanting Krishna's glories. And Srila Prabhupada, he performed a wonderful activity by establishing Krishna Balaram Mandir so that not only devotees, but so many hundreds of thousands of millions of persons can come and get blessings of Krishna Balaram, hear the kirtan, take prasadam. Every day, thousands are receiving prasadam. So in the same way that Prabhupada was endeavoring to spread Krishna consciousness, every moment he utilized for the purpose of satisfying his spiritual master and broadcasting the message of Krishna, he wanted us to do the same. That whatever service you're doing, do it with enthusiasm. Try to somehow or other participate in the Sankirtan mission and book distribution. Many of us spent years and years at airports, on the streets, traveling, and performing the yajna of Prite Viteyacha, another Gram Sarvatra Prachara Hoibe Moranam, that from every town and village, this message of Krishna consciousness is spreading. And we're fortunate, very fortunate, that Srila Prabhupada's giving us this opportunity to hear. If these books were not printed, it's just amazing that even just 70, 80 years ago, there was nothing available unless you were very extremely searching somewhere and understood Sanskrit or had some fortune of being guided. But Srila Prabhupada, he opened the curtains which were giving the darkness, and he allowed the sunshine to come in. And he showed us how to do it by deity worship, beautiful deity worship, by keeping the temple clean, by book distribution, by engaging everyone and giving everyone an opportunity to participate in Krishna consciousness. So this will unfold more and more. We read the summary, and we're all excited. Many of Prabhupada's disciples, those who have dedicated their lives for spreading Krishna consciousness, helping build Krishna Balaram Mandir, Mayapur, Bombay, and just being enthusiastic to serve Srila Prabhupada's mission. And that enthusiasm will come by hearing and chanting enthusiastically, and by following the rules and regulations which are meant for our own well-being so that we don't get sick again and confused and think, oh, Krishna consciousness is too difficult or there are too many challenges. Not everyone sees things the way I see things. There will be challenges, but somehow let's develop the good qualities, the 26 qualities of devotees, and try to focus on Trinadapi, Sunichina, Tarodapi, Sahishnuna, Amanina, Manadena, Kirtaniya, Sadahari. We want to chant the holy name constantly, but we have to become more humble, tolerant, ready to offer all respects to others. And then Krishna will empower us. He'll give us that determination, enthusiasm that's required, and we'll lose a taste for material, mundane happiness, and we'll get the taste. Krishna will help us to get that taste for carrying on in Krishna consciousness. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Krishnamurti, I feel very fortunate you came into the class. Our old cook, these are two cooks together. Krishnamurti was our cook in Miami for many years, always made wonderful Garanga potatoes and feasts every day. And in a very happy mood, what to speak of Apurva, still cooking after 55 years, whatever it might be. So, anyone have any questions? Yes, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
So you see everyone, thank you for the class, Prabhu. You see everyone rushing around out here. They have to go, they have to have an appointment, or they're just going somewhere because they're in a rush. So one gentleman came to see Srila Prabhupada, and he was with other family members, and he was saying, I have an appointment. I can't miss this appointment. I can only stay a few minutes. And Prabhupada said, no, you only have one appointment that you will not miss, and that's death.
Don't miss that appointment, okay?
I just wanted to thank the core of devotees who are here, and every few years I come, they're maintaining such a wonderful facility. I can't believe how many pilgrims I saw on the weekend just squishing myself in between the aisles. There is so much nectar and amazing preaching going on here. So I wanted to take that opportunity to thank all the devotees who are here day in and day out, year in and year out, and are maintaining such a high standard. I know that Srila Prabhupada is smiling on this project and so pleased. On another note, I just wanted to mention, because you were talking about reading, and I remember one time when I came here, Gargamuni Prabhu had mentioned that in the beginning of the movement, the devotees read together in a group. So in my own way, my wife and I have a group that reads together on the phone, 6 or 7 devotees from different parts of the U.S. And it really helps to, we read straight Prabhupada for 45 minutes, and then 15 minutes we have reflections. So it really helps.
Yes, the reading groups are great. Many devotees have groups. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. In this passage from the Bhagavatam, Pradyumna is able to remain unaffected by this severe blow because he's Mahabhagavat. He has a Swarup, Satchidananda Padi, and his driver, the son of Durga, he is maybe sentimental. He's chastised as being like a eunuch. How are devotees supposed to judge the situation? Maybe devotees don't have, their spiritual identity. Should we see the son of Daruk's actions as sentimental, or should we think that it's out of affection and that he's in the right position?
Right. Yes, this is naturally Pradyumna was chastising the son of, or his chariot driver for taking him off the battlefield. But after he explained that I'm perfectly aware of my duty as your chariot driver, if I'm in danger, you protect me, and if you're in danger, I protect you. And you were in a very dangerous situation. So Pradyumna, even though he chastised him to show that a warrior should not fall back on his responsibilities and never leave the battlefield, he set that example. But then after really revealing the actual facts, he understood the situation, and he refreshed himself and went out again for the battle. So unless we have the guidance of the pure devotee and the guidance, the sadhu sangha of the devotees, we many times do misunderstand these very fine, intricate details which are taking place. We might think, oh, he was on the bodily platform. No, he was performing his duty accordingly. And Pradyumna set the example of his to show for others. But then afterward, he actually smiled and became happy and got back on the battlefield to redo it again.
So you mentioned to remain enthusiastic, because being on the battlefield doing book distribution, we might not always be able to smile in the face of adversity. So this mantra of Trinadapi Sunichana, how can we internalize it?
Yes, many of us who've been on Sankirtan, sometimes Krishna, all the time, if you're empowered, everyone takes a book, and practically everything you say makes sense, and it's empowered. But there are times when you can't say anything right, and everyone tells you, get lost, and you start feeling a little bit melancholy. And the only solution I had was sit down and open Prabhupada's books, read 2 or 3 pages, and gather your wits again and get back out there. And Krishna again disperses the cloud of darkness, and the sunshine comes through. He comes through. So by practice, Arjuna complained, how can I control the mind? It's impossible. By constant practice and detachment. So we know that we have to be humble. We're not humble. We know we have to be tolerant. We're not tolerant. But the more we hear about it, and the more we stay in the association of devotees, we learn. So it takes time, but by practice and good association, we have to maintain good association. Without good association, the mind will trick us at every step. But devotees, they're very keen to correct us nicely. So, one last question. Shruta, no comments today? What's up? I'm sure you could find some faults, no?
Thank you very much for the class, Pancha Gauda Prabhu. One thought that just came to me as you were reading the purport and other discussions is how Pradyumna, even though he got knocked out and he was ashamed of being taken off the battlefield, and we also become embarrassed in various ways in our devotional career, but still Pradyumna had the determination to get back out there on the battlefield. He wasn't a wimp. Right. He went back out to fight the good fight. So I was just appreciating his determination and not being worried about whether his reputation was being tainted or not. He knew he had to fight this fight for Krishna against Shalva, and he didn't let anything discourage him. That was just the thought I had.
Beautiful. Many of us have been beat by the club in the chest and feel almost like knocked out and devastated. Oh, but come back. Whatever the challenge or the difficulty was, we come back on the battlefield, because, as you said, the only appointment we have before we have to meet that death, we should do something for Prabhupada, and that in itself will please Krishna, and Krishna will give us the intelligence. Yes. Vaishnav, ki jai.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. So you mentioned how the devotees assisted Srila Prabhupada to establish the International Society for Krishna
Bring it
Consciousness.
close to your mouth.
You mentioned how the disciples of Prabhupada assisted him establish an international society for Krishna consciousness. And so in this way, I like to say that we went out on Sankirtan, and Prabhupada, Senapati, he is the Supreme General, and all the disciples, we're little soldiers of Prabhupada, fighting Maya in hand-to-hand combat. You see, so you understand hand-to-hand combat, a soldier has no weapons, it's more severe type of confrontation. So I like to say that just to illustrate how Srila Prabhupada inspired us to go out there undauntedly and tenaciously and continue. And I have one Sankirtan story. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so the devotees, we go out there and we
But
get
speak
nipped.
closely in the microphone.
We get nipped. Nipped means that the police will always stop you and from book distribution. And devotees did so many uncanny things. They all go on the cars to avoid the police. And one time, so security guard arrested me, took me to the office. He says, okay, I'm going to let you go, but don't come back. But the devotees, all the devotees, we were relentless in book distribution. Brihatmadanga, like this. So I said, okay, sir, I won't come back. But then I went back to the van, and I found Chaudeshana's wig. You may not know Chaudeshana. He was a formidable Sankirtan devotee praised by Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada said, it is simply wonderful that Chaudeshana has distributed 210 Bhagavatams in one day.
Oh.
But we must understand the sacrifice behind this. Chaudeshana would rise at 2 in the morning, chant all of his rounds before Mangalarati, and go out to the airport and start. He was a sweet, good-looking, black-bodied devotee, 6'5", very handsome, but very convincing, charismatic. So in this way, Chaudeshana had left his wig. That was his day off. He had an afro wig back in the 70s. You know the afro? So I wanted to continue my Sankirtan, see? So I put the wig on, and I go back in the field, and same security guard arrested me again. He says, oh, he looked at me, wait a minute. I said, it's you. So then I went to police, I got arrested. But that's just illustrating how the devotees, Prabhupada disciples, so dedicated to assisting Srila Prabhupada in his mission.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we a lot of I think I got 5 times arrested. You know? New York, Texas, Florida. They don't understand. They think that you're infringing on their freedoms, and this is not allowed, that's not allowed. But Prabhupada was very much happy that devotees were bold and very, very determined, as you said. I'm going to do my duty, and doesn't matter whether I'm in the airport or here or there, dodging the police or whatever. But somehow or other, let people get this Krishna consciousness. You know.
Haribol, Haribol.
Okay.
Vaishnavananda has not been here for 47 years.
Yes.
Krishna Mandir.
75 now. But nothing was here when we came. Initially, all you boys, you don't know. There was, and yesterday I had almost an offensive thought. I thought, gee, Prabhupada created all this, all that cacophony and chaotic. I said, Jai, Prabhupada started all of this. Prabhupada did all this, because those of you who remember, the only thing here was the Ram temple. They would chant Jai 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 Sita Ram Jai Jai Radhesham Akhanda Kirtan. They would chant it. That and Fogal Ashram. That was the only thing out there. Everything else, yes. Very nice.
Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. No sleeping. No sleeping.